Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And I also have my PayPal email if you want to contribute that way. And check out my other channel, Just Music. Today, we are going to be talking about the newest Talisker 2025 special release, and it's called The Wild Blue. Okay. It is finished in South African Atlantic coastal red wine casks, but this is an extensive finish. This is a 16-month finish, so I would consider that a second maturation. It is an NAS, a non-age stated offering. I don't know how old it is. My guess is it's close to 10 years, maybe even a little bit more. That's just my guess. And so this is the second release. Last year's 2024 was the Parley Wilder Seas. And I'm going to be referencing that after this review to kind of tell you what my favorite is between last year's and this year's. And I'm also going to be referencing an older Distiller's Edition. Okay, we'll get into that later. But first, let's get back to the Talisker Wild Seas. It supports, this one here supports the Blue Marine Foundation. And 3 pounds from every bottle sold goes to that organization. But what's cool is they are guaranteeing a total donation of 112,608 pounds, no matter how many bottles they're sold. So I'm guessing that's the maximum. They probably divided up. If all their bottles are sold, that's probably the amount. So that's substantial. Just for this one release, over 112,000 pounds is going to be donated to this organization, which I think is really cool. The ABV on the Wilder Seas, the 2025 Wilder Seas, is 48.2% ABV, whereas last year's was 48.6. So last year's was a slightly higher ABV. And you notice the color difference here. This new red wine, second maturation, is considerably not only darker, but it has a reddish hue to it. No mention about chill filtration or coloring added. They probably do. They probably do. There's a QR code on the back to find more about the where the money's going and the foundation, the Blue Marine Foundation. Let me get that up there for you. Yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of that. Okay. It's also made out of, as was last year's, 100% recycled glass with no additional packaging. So there's no cardboard boxes, no cardboard tubes. So that's a very cool thing. Price-wise on the Wilder Blue, it retails for about 75 pounds, which is about $90 US-ish, depending on your markets. Let's get into the review. Okay. I really like this one a lot. It's delicious. So go buy a bottle, because if I find another one of these, I will be buying a backup. And if they, for some reason, go on special, I'll be buying 2. So the nose is sweet and rich. Might I say decadent. Smoked red licorice. There's a waxiness in there too, like a candied wax candle. Sweet, juicy red fruits, juicy fruits. And there's a bit of dirt or earth, or what I used to be a landscaper would call it loam. Um, Not earthy, but dirt. If you just dug a hole in the ground and smelled the dirt, I'm getting a little bit of that. And it's almost Kalila-ish on the nose. Those smoky fruits. On the palate. It's delicious. Sweet red licorice, berries. Again, picture a piece of juicy fruit gum dipped in some red wine, and then you just chew it up. Getting that. It has an impressive viscosity about it. There's a chewiness here, which is really cool. It's also got some sweet barbecue campfire element about it that kind of encompasses the fruits. But yeah, smoked, barbecued, campfire, definitely there. The finish is a solid medium, and you have that trademark black pepper, Talisker black pepper, oak spice on there, and then it kind of tapers off into a dry, pleasing finish, like you would that juicy fruit gum that you dipped in wine after it's lost all its flavor and you're just ready to spit it out. You're getting a dryness and then that old flavorless gum that's left on your palate. Tongue coating. Definitely tongue coating. I really like this a lot. And there's peat in there as well. There's a slight, when the glass, this is almost empty now, I'm getting more of that, little bit of that funky peat in there as well. Little vegetal note. I really like this. Normally, I don't gravitate towards heavily wine finished or wine matured because I want to taste the distillate. Talisker distillate is front and center on here, and it marries really well with those the maritime notes of those. They call them Atlantic coastal red South African wine casks. They're playing really nice together. For me, it's not too sweet. For some people, if you don't like a sweetness, I wouldn't say this is overly sweet, but there's a sweetness to it. Okay. And I think it just really works really well. Oh my God, yeah. Take a quick sip of water. So, score-wise in this, in case you don't want to stay for the rest of the show, and I reviewed this Talisker X Parley Wild Seas 1 year ago, and I compared it to the Talisker 10, and I gave this an 8 out of 10. But I like this one more, and so I'm going to go back to the old the Ralphie scores in the 80s. So if I had to rescore these, I would say the Talisker X Parley 2024 release, the Wild Seas, would be probably closer to an 87, whereas the new 2025, the Wild Blue, this is an 89 for me. That's how much I like it. So just really quick, the Talisker 2024. The nose is cleaner. Compared to this, a little more subdued, cleaner, brighter. This is really good too. I mean, the 2024. There's a sweetness there. You're getting this was a cognac finished. So you're getting that cognac. There's some complexity to this as well. The last year's. Again, I'm not here to do a review. Check out my full review on it. Yeah, cleaner, brighter. You can tell it's Talisker for sure, but I prefer this one, the newest one. And now, just a quick. This is an older Distiller's Edition. I think I've talked about this in a previous comparison show, but this is an older one, and it was distilled in 2003 and bottled in 2014. So it's at least 10, it's between 10 and 11 years old. And the typical Talisker ABV, 45.8 Distiller's Edition. And this one was, they call it double matured in Amoroso casks. So it's interesting how the distillers, they call it double matured, but this 16th month and the newest one, they're calling it a finish. But in my opinion, it's double matured. All right, so the Distiller's Edition. I've had a couple of Distiller's Edition, and I find them to be a little too whiny, whereas this brand new Talisker, the wine's there, but it just complements it much more. Whereas the distillers, I find it distracts. Yeah, so this one here, believe it or not, I'm getting some maple candy, maple syrup, brown sugar. And the nose is more subdued than any of the other ones. It's very nice. I'm getting the red licorice in there too, the strawberry Twizzlers. It's very nice. I'm a Talisker fanboy, but yeah, wow. That is really nice. But I don't even really want to score this because it's an older bottle, but this is certainly an 8 out of 10 as well. Upper 80s, 86, 87, 88, somewhere in that range. But I'm not going to drag this on any longer. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I will be searching out for another Talisker Wild Blue. They're one of my favorite distilleries. Really tasty stuff. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Check out my other channel, Just Music. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hats off to you all, folks, and take care.